Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Big rumours emerging today as to exactly what's going on with the Los Angeles Thieves. What are they going to do going forward with all of their players gone, getting poached in different organisations? We've got lots of talk from Kenny actually on what happened after last season's World Championship, getting pay cuts all across the board despite winning the entire thing, but also his thoughts on Shotzzy, who is highly likely to be his upcoming teammate for this season. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. First of all, here we are with the new Call of Duty 2023. We've got some like NBA players and stuff, playing some new COD previews, and here's an example here of them playing the new one, it seems. So we'll see if it's any good. It probably won't be, but we can only hope that it's going to be a better version of this year's game. It's going to be Modern Warfare 3, we believe, made by Sledgehammer, so it's going to be probably exactly what we currently have, but hopefully some dead silence in there, some red dots on the minimap in there, some better maps in there, and that would make the game that we currently have quite significantly better. This other was interesting as well, right? So Zoom was asked his like top 5 CODs of all time. Number 1, he gives it to Advanced Warfare, and actually Lil Yachty here in the replies to FaZe Clan saying never heard anyone ever pick Advanced Warfare number 1. Now from a competitive perspective, that was Zoomer's best game, and it's understandable why he likes it the best. It is interesting because I often talk to guys that play Call of Duty on a casual level, and a lot of them just still hate jetpacks, and they think that was like just the worst decision ever, and as soon as that happened it was all downhill. So it's interesting because from a competitive community perspective, we look back very fondly on those games and on those years. They were a lot of fun if you were like pretty good at the game, but for a lot of casual players, they hated those titles, and I could definitely understand why. So Advanced Warfare, it's interesting, right? Because Advanced Warfare from a competitive point of view, from at least our perspective, was definitely right up there. From like, skill-based matchmaking when it came in that game, the fact that you had the speakeasy and the obsidian seed allowed in ranked play, it was just a disaster on many levels, the supply drops and all this, but from a pure competitive basis that Zoom was playing it on, it definitely is one of the best games ever. It was his best game individually, if I would argue, so probably makes sense why he's saying that. Scump says that Modern Warfare 3 clears the original one, but of course, we've got another Modern Warfare 3 coming out, which I'm sure is going to be much better than the original, with the way that unfortunately the games have been trending over the last couple of years. Quickly on this, I thought was just hilarious that people have found another alternate account here for Jimbo. So this is Jimbo, also known as Lau, also known as recently banned from competing because he got outed for cheating at the World Championship. I mean, as remarkable as that sounds. So he's now changed his name again and has unfollowed everyone, deleted all his tweets. So I guess he's plotting his return. We don't really know what the future is here for Jimbo, whether he's actually going to get an official sanctioned ban by the league, because, okay, he was banned and they kicked his team out the tournament, but we've got no, like, oh, the CDL saying Jimbo's banned for this amount of time, or there's some intention to help the guys that got screwed over by Jimbo cheating in the qualifiers. There's no real way around that, but he should be ousted, and clearly he knows that Jimbo as a brand is ousted, so he's changed his name to Heyo or something. So if you see this account around, you know what it is. I'm sure he's going to be in for a few more changes to his brand over the next couple of years anyway, and I guess hope that people forget about this, but unfortunately people are on top of the game, so I appreciate that for all those who pointed this out. There was also some drama last night, as there always seems to be in Alley Cats like Women's League. There was the qualifiers going down, and seemingly people for whatever reason are like hacking in this, and there's this girl Angelina here who, this is hilarious to me, that a lot of like Jimbo did similar tweets. He was like, oh, I'm putting in the grind, it's paying off, and I want it so bad, it's all worth it. And like they do tweets like this where they're just cheating their way to the top. It's just actually unbelievable actually. So as Cruz says, no way a girl got caught hacking in the qualifiers today and tweeted this yesterday. I want it bad, I play every day to get better and be recognized. Takes time and a lot of effort though. A little rough at the moment, but apparently was just outed for hacking straight up. I didn't really see too much proof of this or anything flying around or any clips of it really. It seems like everything got lost into the abyss last night, so I can't confirm or deny this story, but it was a big talking point, and there's just so much drama going on in that neck of the woods that we would probably discuss it more often. But Rostermania's taken over right now, to be honest. This is another point though, when we talk about Thieves, which players are they going to get next year? They might well need to look at a fair few rookies. I do wonder as well, as Crone says, what the official guidelines are for the Rookie of the Year awards. Do you guys consider Snoopy to be a rookie next year? I would say yes, but you know, Exceed wasn't counted this year, and he played only very briefly in the Modern Warfare days quite some time ago. Snoopy just played at Champs. That's the biggest event, so you can argue that next year he's no longer a rookie because he's had a debut, but that was also post-season. Snoopy didn't play at all in the regular season, so it makes me think that I would personally count Snoopy as a rookie next year. And it's the same like when Afro came in and he played for a couple of months at the end of the Cold War season, but then he came in for Vanguard, and it was like, I almost kind of consider that his rookie year in some sense, despite the fact that he'd already played for a little while. Even though I think looking back on that, that's pretty borderline. And even last year in Vanguard, right, Scrappy and Hicksy played a game because they got subbed in because they're making changes at the time. So, you know, I don't know, maybe like one stage. If you've played less than one stage worth of matches, it probably next season should be considered your rookie year. I don't know. We'll see about that. But these are some of the players in question, and Kenny will likely be gone from Thieves. This is the crazy thing about Thieves, the fact that the money situation has got to a point where for whatever reason they just seem to be broke, and Kenny had offers from Thieves again to return, as you'd expect. Octane retired, Drazah went to potentially OpTic and then to FaZe, it seems, Envoy to Toronto, and I'm sure they thought, alright, let's keep Kenny around, at least we can rebuild from there. He then gets the OpTic offer, and what Thieves can offer is nowhere near that package deal. So this was the article here actually on Deserto, where Jacob L goes on to say, according to Deserto's sources, the deal is not yet signed, this is with OpTic, but is a work in progress, with Thieves failing to negotiate a figure that Kenny was happy with to stay with them. So again, we've got more players talking about that Thieves just don't have the cash, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be paying, okay, they'll be paying above minimums, because, I mean, look, if your players are based in LA, you kind of have to be honest, but not paying enough that Kenny would be happy with. So this is just another step on that journey that we've kind of seen over the last couple of years, of Thieves going from being a real contender and having a great team this season again, winning another event this season at Major 4, but yet, you know, not re-signing the guys on bigger deals last season and even forcing them to take a pay cut, and now it's a similar story again. And we saw this tweet earlier today, but this was a really scathing one, and Thieves as an entire organisation are just catching strays left, right and centre, because Merc says, extremely odd, champions get paid, and Envoy's dad says, do they though? Which implies that Envoy, after winning the World Championship last year, basically got forced to take a pay cut, and that's what we understand. That Thieves team, they wanted to stick after winning champs, as is usually the case after a team wins the World Championship, and Thieves said, look, hey, if you guys want to stick around here, you're going to have to take a cut. And, you know, maybe there was a thought to them taking their services as a quartet to another team that could pay them the money, but they took the cut, they went for it, and it didn't work out especially badly. But if Thieves are trying to do it again, and they're saying, look, Kenny, we can bring you back but for less money, and Kenny's looking at OpTic, he's absolutely no-brainer in that case. And if they're not paying anything crazy, who will want to go to Thieves right now? This is, you know, what Ronnie says. They had to take a pay cut after winning champs. That was confirmed. I mean, Claytor talked about it on stream a little while ago now. And Thieves just straight up don't have the capital to bring back a team like this. They can't pay Kenny enough money to get him to stay. They'll have to pay him a lot of money to get him to turn down the OpTic offer anyway. Like, OpTic could offer him the same salary as Thieves are offering him, but, like, you look at that team that OpTic are forming, and you look at OpTic as a brand, and it's a no-brainer there. So Thieves would have to do a lot to keep Kenny around in that circumstance, but they don't seem to have the money to get Slasher back. I mean, it seems like he's going to go to Boston. Even Priestep might be going to Boston. So it's like, these players you've had success with before, there's nothing going on. They're going to have a full rebuild. Like, Slasher's not going to come back. Kenny's not going to come back. So then you're looking at players like these, right? You get down to the point of, you know, Afro, Cammy, Vivid, Assault, Nasty, Huke, and even the likes of Nero, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I think in terms of an upset team, and that's kind of where Thieves find themselves. They've not got the top talent. They need to try and form a team of 4 that can actually compete with the top dogs on a moneyball basis, right? Like, they're paying relatively low salaries, which is crazy to see where Thieves are and where they are. And I'm not saying this is a bad decision from them, because business-wise, it's tricky right now in esports, and it seems like, you know, Thieves and Nature have their heads screwed on correctly when it comes to not wasting a load of money. But at the end of the day, if you actually want to succeed in this sport, you know, you've got to be pretty good. If you want to bring in the sponsors, the viewership, the fan base, actually winning is quite important and it's expensive to win, and Thieves have found that out in the past. But you know, they might have to choose some of the players like this. Maybe you build a team with Attach and you bring in like Afro and potentially put like Nero with him. I don't really know how that would work from an SMG perspective, but it's got a high ceiling if it works, which is really what I'm looking at here if I'm forming a roster. You want to build a team with massive upside if they can pull it off with you know, some potential superstar players. So I really think that's what Thieves need to go in for here. But yeah, tricky one, absolutely. And I will also mention this for you guys the other day. Kenny talking about Shotzzy. Definitely an interesting perspective from Kenny's point of view, looking at playing Shotzzy, because he's been up against him a lot of times over the last couple of years. I actually specifically remember that Berlin hardpoint map that he mentions here, because he dropped like 42 kills, something insane Shotzzy in not very long. That was like just a ridiculous takeover performance. That map was designed for Shotzzy just to get lost in the shadows and nobody could find him. And Kenny says, look, he goes a bit too rogue sometimes. This, I think, is what Kenny can bring to the OpTic team as well, is that he can, you know, try and help calm these guys down at times, because Kenny knows how to play cards.
I don't have anything to say on that one. I think the take of putting Shotzzy on a flex is faded though.
I agree.
Oh, you ever want to put that guy on a flex?
Well,
so,
yeah.
Listen, this is my thing. I think people obviously look at stats and you got good stats, you're good. You got bad stats, you're bad. Shotzzy's the type of player that he will win you the game by a mile. I do think he has tendencies to like sometimes maybe like go rogue. Like
that's
I think there was one match versus us where like the fortress control
when he pushed out the back door. Yeah.
Like something like that is just like something like that happen. Like you're just in the moment, it happens. But I'm like Shotzzy's gross. That guy's insane. Like I remember to this day, like I remember in Vanguard where we played them on Berlin Hardpoint and he literally won the game on his own. His teammates, I'm not saying they didn't do anything, but there was a whole like 2 minutes or 2 hills back to back where we were just only calling him out. And he was just like,
you just couldn't find him.
Yeah, he's just frying us. And I feel like,
yeah,
bro, a guy like that on your team can make things like super, super easy. And like, I feel like for me, like, I don't know how good his comms are, but if his comms are like really, really good, I feel like a play like that just frees up the map so much for a team. And I feel like people like that are so easy to play with.
Listen, man, those motherfuckers were still getting paid a lot of money. I'm not sure what narrative's trying to get formed here. I'm a content creator now. I'm all intelligence. They took a pay cut from a shit ton of money to a pay cut to still a shit ton of money. I wouldn't even call it a pay cut at that point.
So that's going to do it for today. Very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Just wanted to close out with this. Players that either retired or stopped competing. The 2020 era was, I mean, yeah, that was a tough one. Karma, Cap, Enable, you know, Frosty, Happy rated Tommy. 2021 took the most scalps so far technically, with Formal, like Eggs officially called it a day at that point. Zuma, Apathy, Looney Z, Alex Density, just, yeah, some names on here. Mental actually as well, which is, I guess, kind of notable. You guys remember Dylan Cod, of course. But a lot of the really big scalps have come in the last couple of years, right? Kremp after 2022, Scump, Octane, you know, after this year. So kind of sad to see, but also inevitable to some extent in the same vein. But very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.